Is writing a book one of your goals for the new year? If so, here are 10 tips that can make a difference between dickering and done. Now that I'm 47 full-length books down the road, all sold to major publishing houses, plus more than a dozen other compilations, I can attest that these principles work. A couple of my books were written in 2 days. The longest, 95,000 words, took me 28 days to write. Several have been book club selections and won literary awards. Writing fast does not mean cutting corners on quality. Here's hoping these same tips will be helpful to you as you write your first or your next book. 1. Do your basic research before you ever start to draft. Writers like to read. Once you stop drafting to locate needed research, you'll be tempted to read not only that research, but the next article and the next study and the following study. Sooner than you think, you've lost 3 hours on reading intriguing research data that you definitely don't need to write your book. Productivity experts will tell you that it's the start, stop pattern that wastes time in any activity, switching your brain from one process to the next process, switching locations to do the task, switching tools to do the task. So research, then draft. Second tip, outline the entire book before you start. You'll be eager to start each new day because you'll know exactly where you're going next. You'll also see where things will be overlapping, and you'll be able to eliminate those redundant sections before you take the time to draft them. Third tip, never reread what you wrote the day before. Rereading can waste hours of your valuable creation time. Keep plowing ahead. Reread only when you're in the editing phase. Tip 4, consider a writing marathon. Seclude yourself physically and mentally. Go to the local hotel, to your Aunt Susie's house, go to an empty attic in your own home. Just lock yourself away from distractions and make your total focus writing the book. 10 to 14 hours a day, 6 days a week until you finish. As soon as you wake in the morning, go to your computer and begin drafting. When you need your first break, then make that break a functional one. Eat breakfast or get dressed or brush your teeth, whatever your daily routine. In other words, maximize your rest breaks to do what's necessary to live through 12 or 14-hour writing days. Fifth tip, check your email only once a day, in the evening, just before bedtime. You'll be very tired and you will be able to respond very quickly because of sheer weariness. People will have your responses to their emails waiting for them the next morning. Tip 6, stay off social media. Either schedule your posts ahead of time or have an assistant post and reply for you. 7, commit your writing plan and your hours to other people. It's very difficult to explain why you're answering your doorbell after you've announced to your neighbors, your friends, your family members, your relatives that you will be on a writing marathon and unavailable until X dates from now. Accountability works. Tip 8, talk, write, or record your draft. Just get it down on paper or on the screen. Software recognition works for some people. I prefer seeing it on paper as I type, and I do type extremely fast. But getting it on paper as I go allows me to see where I need headings, where I should paragraph, where a paragraph is getting too long, where bullet points would work better than a paragraph. But that said, you can always correct or edit those formatting things in the editing phase. If you prefer to record, then grab your favorite device and go to it. You can send chapters off to elance.com or rev.com and have the manuscript section returned to you in 24 or 48 hours at a minimal cost. Tip 9, keep a record of your hours, your words, and your pages as you go. That builds momentum. At the end of each day, you record your hours worked, your words written, and your pages. That inspires. It does that for two reasons. First, motivation. Seeing your work mount up every day inspires you to keep going and keep finishing pages. Second, predictability. After a week or so, you'll have a solid idea of your daily output. That average daily output then becomes your quota and your reward. You write every day at least until you reach that average. If you have a rough writing day and you reach your quota early in the day, then you can reward yourself and knock it off early. In tip 10, make drafting and editing two different steps. Never stop drafting to correct grammar or revise for clarity or conciseness. If you become aware of a problem while you're drafting, simply put your initials on that spot and make a note. Then you can search for those notes later and correct them. Then move ahead, keep the momentum going. And that's how you get your book done fast. For more information, go to getyourbookpublishedcoachingprogram.com.